Before I introduce today's guest, I would like everyone to enjoy a short clip about our guest. I don't want to spoil the introduction, so stay tuned.
Traditions in small towns tend to go hand in hand. For one rural community in North Dakota, it dates back to the turn of the century. Although times have changed, one recipe has stayed the same and has attracted customers across the country. Take a look. A German sausage recipe dating back to 1909 lies in the hands of George Just.
If there was a store, a butcher shop, there was homemade sausage made.
But the sausage produced in the butcher shop of Stan Supervalu in the rural town of Wishick is different from all the rest.
Everybody knows about it, everybody compliments about it, everybody seems to hear about it. It's just a really well-known product, but that's because of George.
For 46 years, 80-year-old George Just has been seasoning sausage in the heart of North Dakota's German country.
I've been basically semi-retired for 18 years.
It's a team effort, Willis running the kitchen with a handful of other employees, having the ability to produce up to 1,700 pounds of sausage a day.
We put hours in. During the holidays, it's nothing to work a 12-hour day and put 60 hours in a week. It's nothing.
So it's selling itself. We haven't put a whole lot into marketing.
Although the country-style fry sausage is the most popular, on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, people line up from all around for the hot ring bologna.
They come from miles around. I got cousins in Wisconsin. When they come home, they take a cooler full back.
In the winter months, the sausage is shipped to states all across the country.
Makes it maybe somewhat rare. You can't have it all the time, right? You can't just go to any supermarket in Bismarck or Fargo or whatever and buy it.
So rare, only a select few know the recipe, and it's going to stay that way.
Not for sale. Not for sale. I'd be foolish to do it.
As for George's hand in the making,
Fully retired? Well, I think that's going to have to be up to the Lord, I guess, when that's going to happen. As long as they let me in the door, I suppose I'll try to help.
And Wishick will continue its sausage legacy for years to come. I wish everyone at home could smell how good it does in the studio right now. I had to bring some Wishick sausage for my boys to try.
And we love it for that.
Yes, so let's take a bite. So you both have never tried it before?
We have never had it before, and you have though, right?
Yes, I've done a couple other stories down in Wishick, so everyone always says, grab some of the sausage. So I have had it, and I just absolutely love it. It is so good, and understand why it's like nationally recognized. People as far as Arizona, California, East Coast, they all order it.
It tastes like real sausage, you know?
And the casing is super, like, crunchy. It has that nice crunch when you bite into it.
You mentioned earlier, this on a bun, a little bit of mustard, some ketchup.
Yeah, peppers, onions. Oh,
done.
So good.
And we're just about to hit winter, so you can order it if you don't live locally.
I was just going to ask you, okay, so how do people get this if they want it?
Mostly just by driving down to Stan Supervalu in Wishick.
How cool is that, though?
It is, but then you can just call in a phone order in the winter months. So they only do it in the winter, obviously, because it's a little cooler out, so it travels better that way. But
okay, talk to us about cooking it really quick.
Cooking it really quick, just in a pan with a little bit of water, put the sausage on, cover it, steam it. I don't know how long, 10, 15 minutes, maybe done after that, but yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's so good, seriously.
So good, and thanks to George for putting these spices in here.
Disclaimer. For the following viewers, Dakota was a little under the weather while recording this interview. Do not like coughing, sneezing, or hacking, which there really isn't much of. Just a little bit of coughing here and there. Just listen to it anyway. You'll like it. Now, today's guest is a very special person who is near and dear to our hearts. Let's just say without this guest, the Dakota Show wouldn't be a happening thing that it is today. Our guest goes by many names. The Sausage Wizard, the Meat Maniac, the Butcher's Disciple. Most of you might just know him as simply Wes. Well, none of those are his real name. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our guest. Now, hailing from the butcher blocks of North Dakota, standing in at an undisclosed weight and height, our father, Willis the Brahma Butcher Caldwell. Do you smell what the butcher is smoking? I'll give you a hint. It's sausage.
Hey everybody, I have Willis Caldwell from Stan's SuperValue in Wishock, North Dakota. He is an employee at Stan SuperValue. He works in the meat department. And the reason why I chose to interview him is because they ship their meat all over the United States. And that's why I chose to interview the meat department. Willis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Now, can you tell me a little bit about, like, why you guys ship it all over, and when you ship it, and how you ship it, and the shipping?
Yeah, we're famous for our country-style sausage and our rest of our homemade products. So anybody who's shipped through here or came through here or is known someone who's here that's tried our sausage, they really enjoy it. So we ship a lot to Washington, Texas, California, Arizona. That's where a lot of our residents go during winter months. That's when we do all our shipping is during the winter months to make sure the product gets there nice and cold. Everybody who tries our product seems to either love it or like it. There's not really anything bad to say about our products from our customers. And when we do hear something, we just stick with the recipe we've had for 42 years because we know it works. We've really built a name up with it. My mentor, George Judge, has trained me and taught me pretty much everything I know over the last 8 years. And we work really good together, so we just keep pumping the same old sausage out. And it hasn't changed. Same 42 years.
So, you say you have this famous sausage. How much pounds have you made in a week?
We've done up to 8,000 pounds in a week. Normal day is 800 to 1,000, but between October and December, it's enough to knock out 2,600 pounds in just one day. It's really based on orders. A lot of people call orders in, so we know what to make ahead of a time. We usually like, if you want more than 30 pounds, just give us a couple days. That way we make sure we make enough to keep everybody happy. So that's kind of how we do it.
Well, that's very cool. How long has George been there?
George has been there for 42 years.
42 years. He's the one that opened the grocery store. Was it just a meat department to begin with, and then it turned to bigger?
Yeah, it used to be called a Red Owl grocery store. And what happened is Stan Diley passed away. That's where the Stan SuperValue came from. But basically, George started with Stan in a real small grocery store called the Red Owl. And then about 15 years ago, they built another store. And they left the Red Owl because it just wasn't big enough. And they had to update all the equipment. And George has been there the whole time. He's been doing the seasoning the whole time. Darren Diley, like I said, bought it 15 years ago. That's his son. That's who now is my owner. And then I've been working for him for 8 years. Actually, my whole team has been together for 8 years. And Char's been there for 15, and then George has been there for 42.
That's really cool. Now, sorry, I keep jumping back and forth. So, about the sausage, when do you consider winter months?
Between October and April. We use a 2-inch double wall cooler that's 2 inches thick all the way around, and it's double walled, meaning that when you put the lid on, it goes in between two walls to keep it sealed. And then we tape around 4 times around the outside and then around the outside seam when the lid goes on. The reason we only ship during the winter months is we want to make sure a good product gets there. That's the most important part. We want it to leave frozen, and we want it to get to the customer frozen.
That's really cool. And why is your sausage, like, so known as a good product?
I think it's because it's never changed. It's kind of been built up with the business. So as we've gone, we've never changed nothing unless we absolutely have to. You know, there's been like one tiny change just with the mesh pepper since I've been there, and it's like 2 grade. We use the finest pepper a person can buy. And that's just period. We get the finest stuff, the finest choice meats, and that's what we put on our sausage. We don't put a lot of leftovers. Like a lot of people that make sausage, they're just looking a way to get rid of their meat. And we don't do that. We use the best product for our home product.
Yeah. Now, is there anywhere local during the winter months that families can go buy the sausage at?
Nope, we're actually not allowed to do that because we're not in-house inspected. We're quarterly inspected. So to do that, we'd have to get an in-house inspector, and they work 8 hours a day, and we work anywhere between 10 and 16. So we wouldn't be able to make as much. Therefore, a lot of people wouldn't get what they want. During the winter months, if we run to Bismarck or somebody goes to Fargo and we have somebody call, yeah, usually we'll take it to them. But as far as selling it, it's pretty much in-house or shipping during the winter months.
So, we're talking about shipping and all of that. How do they get a hold of you to have meat shipped to their house?
We have a website. It's called standsupervalue.com, and you can actually pull a PDF off there and email, and then the boss will bring me back the email. Then I'll actually give the customer a phone call. Also, most people know just to call. They usually just call 701-452-2351. That stands for Value. And they ask for the meat department. And then we kind of take it from there. We take their address. We take the information for payment. And then we give them a ship date. We only ship out on Mondays during the winter months. That way we know it has all week to get there nice and froze. We don't want to get stuck in some warehouse. So everything that leaves there, it's usually there by Friday. If not, usually it's because it caught in a weather storm, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. But even those are usually fine. I've had 3 orders in the last 8 years go bad, and that's it. And usually it's because of the cooler got broke.
Sounds cool. And if anybody was wanting to get the recipe, how shareable is it?
It's not shareable at all. There's 3 people that know it, and that is it. But the great news upon that is we do sell our seasoning. It's just pre-packed. So we can sell you a 25-pound bundle or a 50-pound bundle, and that's how much meat it would do. So if you say, hey, I need 25 pounds of seasoning, we'd give you enough for 25 pounds of meat. And we do give a discount if you get 50, so $12 for 25, 20 for 50. And this stuff works great in deer sausage. So if you're doing deer, this is a great seasoning to use. It really takes that deer taste away and flavors it up.
And then I'm going to do one last comment about your sausage, and then I'm going to ask you other questions about your other products. How do you guys make it? Now, I know you can't tell me, the recipe, but, what machines do you guys use, and so on and so forth.
Okay. It starts with our grinder. Our grinder is a Hobart, and we can get 200 pounds of meat on it at a time. So what we do is we coarse grind it, which means it does it in thicker chunks, and then we take it over to the mixer. Our mixer also holds 200 pounds. So we throw the meat in there, and then we season it. And then we lower the meat back into a tub, and then we take it to the grinder and throw it back on the grinder again. Then we grind it one more time it's not called a fine grind blade. It's considered a medium blade. And then we grind it with that medium blade. And then what we do from there is we pull the tub over to the stuffer. We actually got 2 stuffers now. They're Tulsa stuffers. One holds 75 pounds and one holds 100. We'll load the stuffer. And then if we're doing fry sausage, we use a natural pork casing. And then we stuff, it's like 2 10-inch links side by side, and we twist them right in the middle. And with the bologna, we use a all-beef casing. And then we actually stuff that in a circle, and then we tie it in a circle. And then after that process, we load the smokehouse. With fry, you pretty much just hang the fry. Bologna, you actually have to take the rod through the holes, and it hangs on the string. After smoking it for 3 to 4 hours, we take it in the cooler and let it cool off for about 4 hours. After that, we go to our 2, most people use a 1-chamber vacuum machine or a flat vacuum machine. We use a 2-chamber vacuum machine, which means we can get 4 sausages on one side, and while it's sailing, you have time to get 4 on the other, and it just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. After that, we throw them in a tub, and then somebody will take them and put our tags on them, which has our store address, numbers, ingredients, and all that stuff so we can sell the product.
That's cool. And people might be wondering, you mentioned bologna. Is that another well-known product as well?
Yep, that's our second known product. When I say fully cooked green bologna, it doesn't look like bologna that you put on a sandwich. It's stuffed in a casing. It's basically just a circle tied. I'm not really sure where they got that name. I just know it's there. Some people will call it red sausage. Some people will call it German sausage. I've heard it called so many different names. We at the store call it homemade fully cooked green bologna. We actually cook it in a big kettle after it smokes, and then we cool it down.
Yeah. And so, is the sausage the only thing you guys ship? Did you guys ship all your products? Like your
We ship all our products. A lot of people call us and order sticks. They'll order our ground chuck because we use choice chuck tenders, which means it doesn't get any better than that as far as ground chuck. And I've had people order steaks, a lot of liver, head cheese, another German thing that a lot of Germans would know about that I didn't know about when I first started is a product called halva. It's like a sweet candy bar block. A lot of people order that.
you have anything that you want to say to all listeners?
I do. I am really happy that Dakota Caldwell had me on his show today, and we take pride in our product. If you give us a call anytime during the winter months, we will definitely hook you up. We have a lot of different German products at our store that Germans would know about, and a lot of people, if they tried them, I think they would like it because I love them. We do a dumpling dough, a spetzel dough, flesh kibla, a lot of that German stuff, strudels, and it's a good product. Once you learn how to cook it, it goes really well with sausage. It's a perfect side dish. Just take up some sausage, cut it up, mix it with spetzels or dumpling dough, and you just fry it in a pan, and it comes out awesome.
And then one last question about your meats and stuff. We have been talking about, shipping, and people wondering, oh my gosh, it costs a lot to ship it, and so on and so forth. So how much does it cost to ship meat?
Okay. Well, usually we try to ground it. So the closer and grounding means it leaves Monday and usually it's there by Friday. It's not guaranteed, but it almost always does. 99% of the time it's going to get there before Friday. It's a $15 handling fee, and that's because of the cooler. We pay a lot for our coolers. We take pride in our coolers. They last, and they just always make it there. And that person keeps the cooler. That's their cooler to keep. They can't send it back or nothing. So you're $15 out right there. And then UPS, the closer you're to North Dakota, the cheaper it's going to be. Say I was shipping to Iowa, it's probably going to be $15. Say I'm shipping to Texas, you're looking at probably $25. The good news is you actually save money by buying more. If I ship you 10 pounds to Texas, it's probably going to cost you $22. If I ship you 50, it's probably going to cost you $27. So you kind of save money at a certain point if you get more because it's less per pound.
Yeah. But sounds good. And can you give me that number again? That people can call in the website?
Yep, the website would be stansupervalu.com, and you could also just Google Stan Supervalu sausage, and it'll pop right up. And we have a PDF on there that you can actually email and fill it out yourself. We in the meat department recommend that you just call us. No matter what, we have to call you if we get an email.
Yeah.
And the best way to call would be 701-452-2351, and you can answer Brittany, Willis, or Shar. And any of us will hook you up.
That is sweet. Now, let's say they put in their application for the meat and they haven't heard from you guys. Any days, if they haven't heard back from you, when should they give you a call?
I would say a week because sometimes the negative part of the email, that's why the meat department recommends you call us, is we don't do the email part.
Okay.
The owner does. So if he's busy doing paperwork and stuff, or we get jammed with something, coolers go down, he's going to be busy worrying about that. He's not going to be worried about checking his email. That's why we always like you to call us. That way we can take care of you right away instead of having to take an extra step.
Okay, sounds good. And everybody, that was Willis from Stan Super Value, and I will have the number that should be showing up hopefully right now in the website name down below, as well as the number too. And Willis, it was nice having you on the show.
You too. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey guys, it's me, Dakota, and what you just saw was Stan's Super Value Meat Department, and I hope you guys really enjoyed that because it took me a long time, and so it kind of takes me a long time to do this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna move my show back to once a month. I can get more creative with it, and I don't have to rush, and you guys will be able to see more, I believe, with me moving it to once a month. So you may say, well, what day on every month? The first Saturday of every month is when I'm going to have my show. Otherwise, I will let you know if that changes, but I'm going to start doing it once a month on Saturdays because I also am working on a website right now. Haven't had much time to, battle two tasks at once. So, I want to build the Dakota show up, but it's gonna take time, so I'm stepping down to this for once a month. That way I can work on my website, and then I will update you from there. Thank you for watching the Stan Super Video, the Dakota Show.